This is Brian Putt. Today I'd like to talk to you about a new feature in SIPmath. It's only available in the enterprise version. It's called Save PMTable. Up here you can see SIPmath, and you can see there's a Save PMTable. Now to get to that, to have the Save PMTable shown, you have to go to the Settings and go to the Advanced and check the Advanced Initialize button. And then the Save PMTable feature will show. Now in this application of the Save PMTable, I'm going to show you how to save a base case. So I have generated this model. It's an acquisition economics, if you will, very trivial, where I have the full acquisition value, which is effectively a normal distribution with a mean of 6 and a standard deviation of 6. And we can see that distribution down here. And then there's a probability of being able to acquire it, 30% chance of not acquiring it, 40% chance of acquiring 100% of it. And this is the product of those two variables, which leads to this particular distribution. Now that is my base case. And I'm going to be going into the manager, and I want to be able to have him change these values and be able to compare it to what I say is the base case. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to save this case by going over here to SIPmath, Save PMTable, and I'm going to archive this PMTable and make a new PMTable. I will call it model. That's going to be my model. And you'll notice what happened is it generated a worksheet down here called PMTable model. That's model's the word I put in. And then it generated a new PMTable over here. So now let's say that the manager comes in and says, look, this mean is not going to be 6, it's going to be 8. You'll notice that these graphs didn't change because they're tied to the PMTable model. What I want to do now is redefine this output variable, the acquired value, with a new name. I'm going to give it a name of new acquired value. So I'll come over here and we'll do a define outputs. We'll call it new acquired value. That then shows up on this PMTable. What I can do now is I can get the difference. Oh, I could certainly plot this too, couldn't I? Let's do that. And then I can combine these graphs. I'm going to copy that, Control C, paste it over here. And so now we can compare those two graphs. So now let's say that we want to plot the difference between the reference case and this new case. What I can do is take the difference. So I'm going to say equal to this value minus the index of the acquired value, which is our reference case. I could have called it reference, and that probably would have been better, comma, PM index. And now let's plot, let's define that, define outputs as difference, okay? And we'll plot it. So now we have, for our manager, the difference between those two cases. If I went back to the 6 and 6, there's no difference. If I went to 5 and 9, I would get a huge difference. So it's very easy for the decision maker to be able to compare what he thinks the right answer is versus what the study team came up with. So now let's assume that the manager wants us to use the 5 and 9 as our reference case. What we need to do, we have to go back and save this PM table as PMTable new. So we'll go SIPmath, save PMTable, and we'll do a archive PMTable. And we'll call it new. Now we have another PMTable down here, and we have another PMTable over here with nothing in it. I'm not going to need this one, so I'm going to move it over here. And what I really want to do is go back to my original one. I'm going to put that one over here since this is the order in which they were generated. And I'm going to retrieve my PMTable model. So I'll say retrieve, and now you'll notice that that tab is now yellow. So this is the table I want to save as my new reference, and that is the values. So I will simply go back and say SIPmath, save PMTable, and now I'm going to retrieve. When I do another retrieve, it's going to save this result as my reference. So now I'm going to go back here and retrieve the new PMTable new, and you see the difference is 0 because I saved my reference case as a 5, 9. You can go back and forth as many times as you want between these tables, and if you want to have another table over here to do sensitivity or something, you could then make this active, do your sensitivity analysis, and save that again. You can have any number of PM tables. I'm going to put this back to my original, what was it, 6 and 6. And you can see it updates. So I hope you find this useful in storing a reference case or a base case and then showing the difference. It can be used for other purposes as well, such as generating sensitivities or generating a tornado chart. I'll have other videos on that subject later on. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to learn more about SIPmath, I suggest you visit probabilitymanagement.org. They have a wonderful website with all kinds of tools there, shown down here, who they are. You can download models, and there's tools down here to include the SIPmath toolbar itself. You might also read The Flaw of Averages by Sam Savage. And please visit my YouTube channel. I have over 80 videos that cover a wide range of topics to include uses of the SIPmath tools, how to use the icons, cost and schedule risk analysis, portfolio analysis, value of information, lots of videos on that, and some mind testers. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.